So to start off with, a couple of sticks of celery. There's no measurements for this recipe, and that's because people will need different amounts. So just adjust it to suit yourself. So I'm just going to split those down centre. And then we're going to chop them into little pieces. And make this soup as chunky as you want. We've also got some nice chunky pieces of carrot there as well. But I think some of these I'm going to cut into smaller pieces. I want everything in proportion for this soup. And then we've got some frozen potatoes. These are just defrosting, so we'll let those finish off. And then I might chop those in half as well. Then we want an onion. So we're going to cut this into quite big chunks. I'm just going to thinly slice a couple of cloves of garlic as well. I'm also going to be adding a few peas as well. And some sweet corn. So now we'll make the soup. And we're going to do it on a low to medium heat. And I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil to that pan. And then we'll get those onions in. And at the same time, we're going to add those carrots and that celery. And we want to cook this slowly, just to soften everything. These have been cooking for a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a lid on and sweat them vegetables just a little bit, and that's going to help soften them. A few minutes later, we'll add that garlic. So we're going to add a bit of salt to this. And we're going to add some black pepper as well, or you could use white pepper. You only want about half a teaspoon of each, and then about a teaspoon of mixed herbs. So we'll just keep cooking this for a couple more minutes. That veg is done now, so we'll add a homemade tomato sauce. And we're going to drop that sweet corn in as well now, and there's peas. And as I said, we're putting those potatoes in later because they are already part cooked since we've blanched and frozen. So I'm just going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to simmer it for about 15 minutes, and then we know everything is properly cooked through. So we've got that up to a boil, so now I'm going to simmer it. By doing that, we'll thicken it at the same time. If you do make a soup from homegrown tomatoes, you'll want to add a tablespoon or so of sugar to it, just to get rid of that acidity. This next part's optional, but I like to give it a little bit of a kick. So I'm adding just under a tablespoon of paprika. And we'll also add those potatoes in now. This soup looks amazing. And now it's time to serve. Look at all that chunky veg. Brilliant. Full of nutrition. That is a big bowl of soup, and there's loads left. It didn't take long at all to make that amazing vegetable soup, and virtually everything that we needed to make that we grew in his garden over the last few months. So it's a very nourishing, filling, cheap meal. And we made a big pan of that, so we've got loads that we can save for later. If you want to see other recipes I'm going to be doing over the next week or so, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.